helps the body and mind function in the best way possible. Here are what foods to choose so you don't run out of strength. Nowadays, eating has a dual purpose, not only to nourish the body, but also to satisfy the palate. Sometimes this second function takes over so much that it overshadows the fundamental purpose of eating, which is to provide the body with all the nutrients and energy it needs. The risk is that we end up taking in more calories than we consume. The reason is quickly stated: there is no shortage of energy-giving foods in the modern diet. They often tantalize the taste buds and are consumed in quantities far in excess of the body's needs, so much so that they encourage weight gain. Conversely, an energy-poor diet can cause weight loss, severe fatigue, hypoglycemic dips, reduced performance both physically and mentally, and in some cases even depression. To avoid running out of fuel in the middle of the day, perhaps while you are working or studying, or during physical activity, you can rely on certain foods. Let's see which ones. 1. Foods that energize the body. Foods that energize the body owe their properties to the nutrients within them, from which cells derive the fuel to carry out their functions. Specifically, 1 gram of carbohydrates or protein corresponds to about 4 calories, while 1 gram of fat provides as many as 9 calories. In choosing foods, however, one should not rely only on calorie counting. It is also important to ensure a nutritionally balanced diet, according to which the basis of a healthy diet should be carbohydrates, which should account for between 45 and 60% of energy intake in the day. As early as 4 years of age, however, lipids should be limited to 20 to 35% of daily energy intake. On the other hand, that fatty foods can have the opposite effect to recharging energy is intuitive, as their ability to weigh down and make digestion difficult is well known. As for protein, on the other hand, generally 1 gram per kg of body weight is sufficient in adulthood. However, there are exceptions, which may require increasing the daily protein intake, as in the case of those who engage in high-level physical activity. 2. Foods that energize the mind. Food, however, provides energy not only to keep the body strong, but also to keep the nervous system functioning at its best. Unlike muscles and the liver, the brain cannot use fat directly, it needs glucose. It needs 130 g of it to cover its daily requirements. Rapid decreases in its availability can negatively affect attention, memory, and learning, while taking it can improve attention and memory even under moderate stress conditions, such as those associated with the most demanding mental tests. Beware, however, of sugar binges, which, indeed, can be counterproductive. In fact, the consumption of simple sugars, especially when taken alone, causes a rapid rise in blood glucose levels. In itself, this phenomenon helps combat the physical and mental fatigue associated with what is not coincidentally called sugar crash, but it provides only short-term relief. In fact, in such cases, blood glucose levels drop again within a short time, leaving the body and mind once again low on energy. This is why it is preferable to take simple sugars within a meal, even better if together with fiber-rich foods that slow their absorption. The energy taken in will thus be available longer term. Finally, it should not be forgotten that according to the LARNs, simple sugars, such as table sugar, those in which honey is rich, and those found in chocolate and sweets, should not exceed 15% of daily energy intake from food. This means that to meet the body's energy needs, it is best to choose complex carbohydrate sources, such as whole grains and legumes. In addition, it is good never to skip meals, especially breakfast, which seems to have an importance that should not be underestimated for the proper functioning of the brain and the well-being of the body. It is the right opportunity to provide the mind and body with some energy after the prolonged night fast, and is associated with improved memory and attention. 3. Vitamins and minerals in foods that give energy. Specifically helping the body get energy from food are the B vitamins, from vitamin B1 to vitamin B12. Vitamin C, on the other hand, in addition to having antioxidant properties, is essential for the transport of fatty acids into the mitochondria, the energy powerhouses of cells, for the synthesis of hormones, and for the metabolism of iron and folic acid. It is found in citrus fruits, but not only, also in peppers, tomatoes, kiwis, and many other fruits and vegetables. For foods that give energy in the morning. As mentioned, breakfast is the first good opportunity of each day to replenish energy. In general, about 20% of daily calories should be consumed during this meal. Among sources of carbohydrates, it is best to prefer those containing complex sugars and fiber, but there is nothing to stop you from spreading some jam on a slice of whole wheat bread as well. Just choose one that is low in added sugars. Partly skim milk and yogurt can also work well, perhaps combined with some whole grain cereal and some fresh fruit. 5. Energy-giving foods for sports. When playing sports, it is the muscles that need energy. Again, the best source of energy is carbohydrates. In fact, a diet low in these nutrients reduces the stamina of those who practice physical activity by a factor of 3. Therefore, it is better not to miss out on them, again taking them in the form of foods that do not raise blood glucose too quickly, such as beans, milk, whole wheat pasta and apples instead of bread, rice, potatoes, and bananas. In addition, athletes should favor foods that do not overly burden digestion, an effect that would be counterproductive to performance. Also, to avoid compromising performance, it is best to finish your last large meal at least 3 to 4 hours before physical activity. Instead, for a boost of energy just before a workout or fitness session, one should limit oneself to simple foods such as crackers, a piece of fruit or a yogurt. Finally, to have enough energy available, it is important to take care of nutrition even after physical activity, when it is good to replenish energy reserves, once again, with carbohydrate-rich foods. Be careful, for proper nutrition the sportsman cannot miss vegetables either, which together with fruits and drinks designed for those who practice sports help to fill up on the vitamins and minerals needed to have enough energy available during physical activity and to replenish those, such as potassium, that are lost through sweating. 6. Foods that give energy for studying. Finally, school. As mentioned, providing the brain with adequate doses of glucose is crucial for memory and attention, but how to provide it with snacks? Even when sitting on books, it is good to avoid overcommitting the stomach with digestion. The risk is to get the opposite effect than desired, with drops in attention and concentration and changes in mood. That is why it is good to avoid giving children snacks rich in fat, better fresh fruit, a source not only of sugars but also of vitamins and minerals, a yogurt, whole wheat rusks or a small sandwich with a little jam without added sugar. In general, a snack should not exceed 5 to 10% of total energy intake during the day and should be included within a nutritionally and energetically balanced diet. Indeed, the composition of the diet can influence cognitive ability and achievement in school by modifying factors involved in the development and functioning of neurons. Once again, simple sugars, along with saturated fats, such as those in butter and salami, are being blamed. Instead, the brain's allies even between school desks are the vitamins and minerals from fruits and vegetables and the omega-3s from fish, flax seeds, and nuts, especially walnuts instead of almonds.